How was your relationship with your family through this process of growing with the business?
There were times where we got along great, and there were times where we didn't necessarily get along all that well because there was, I was trying to spread my wings, and they're trying to exert their authority, and we didn't always see eye to eye. But I think one of the things that was really, really nice is that around 2007, we've had a family farm in Colorado since I was a kid. That's always been my stepdad's dream, is the farm. And we actually had a deal on the table in '06. We had our first LOI, we signed it, ready to go, and then Sunday before due diligence starts, we called, we're like, we're not doing it, we're out, we got too many things to finish here. But he took that opportunity to say, you know what, you're going to finish those things, and I'm going to Colorado. I'm not delaying my dream of running the farm any longer. Like, have at it. It was a really powerful conversation. He said, there's been one rule at Earthworks since day one, and that's I cash my check last. So if there's no money left at the end of the day, my check's the one that doesn't get cashed. So there's a new rule starting today. My check gets cashed first, yours gets cashed last. Good luck.
I love that.
that was pretty powerful. I mean, it kind of it all hit me right there in that moment. Like, wow. So that's how it is now.
Okay, but fine. But does that come with any ownership in the business?
Well, yeah, that was the other piece that we worked through, and never really had anything on writing, but we did make an agreement, based on, all right, so when we hit X revenue, I start to earn equity, and everything over X is going to be a third, a third, a third. We're partners 3 ways. And so, yeah, we were able to hammer that stuff out as well at the time.
Was there ever any heartburn over the equity piece? And then how do you ink that? You want to get paid on your equity, and you don't want it to be a taxable event. So how do you get that inked over time?
So there's a lot of trust involved, obviously. We never did put anything on paper. We did have multiple conversations over the years. And then, yeah, we had several more as we worked through the transaction, because it's not all super cut and dry. It's not just like, here's a check for X amount and you guys split it up, a third, a third, a third. And we had my brother joined us about 13 years ago, and, kind of had joined the equity club, but it wasn't super defined. So one of the things we did, and we were really intentional about our sale process, was, it was probably 2 years from the time we decided we're going to do this until we actually went to market. But a lot of that time was, all right, we got to get on the same page as a family. There was a lot of time around financial planning and things like that, which you have to understand what the equity is going to look like before you can make the financial plan. So before we went to market, we had all that stuff pretty well dialed in, with the understanding that we don't know exactly what the deal is going to look like. But we had percentages and agreements made that everyone was good with. And literally right up until the day before closing, like, all right, well, now they did this. What about this? Is everybody good with that? Yep, we're all good with that.
So in the end, everyone walked away happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and we've still, I'm sure we'll get into this, but we've still got more coming. Yeah. We rolled over a nice piece, and so there's still a second bite coming for us.